Segu agwegu, diganadasa niengets. My traditional name is Diganadasa. My English name is Ron McClester, and I am the Director of Aboriginal Initiatives here at the college. It is my honor to welcome you to today's President's installation. Is it also my honor to welcome the Spirit Vision drum group and dancers. We believe that the drum is the heartbeat of our Mother Earth and that it connects all things. Today, we've called upon this group to acknowledge the President's installation. Please stand for the procession party. Please, everybody take your seats. I would like to welcome Elise Hartley, our elder in residence, to offer us a smudging ceremony this morning. Elise?
I would like to introduce you to what we call our medicines. When we have a meeting, people that do come, usually we have what we call a smudge. We smudge as we stand in the circle, because as Aboriginal people we know that there is no beginning and there is no end, and one is no higher than the other when we stand in the circle. So therefore, we stand in the circle, and we have our medicines spread out. And for ourselves, in the East, we put the tobacco. Tobacco, in our way of thinking, when our forefathers were using it, was sort of a welcoming the smoke and also the pipe, so that when everybody that was together decided that what was said in the meeting and everybody was in agreement, they passed the pipe. So the tobacco was one of our first medicines, and it was a medicine grown from the plant, not what we know today as tobacco. And then we went to the South, and in the South we put sweetgrass, and it's used very much in the same way as tobacco. And in the West, we have our sage. Sage is a cleansing. When we light it, and I will light one now, and possibly to give you an idea what we do with the sage and everyone else that's in the circle. I will light it very lightly because I don't want to have a problem with the, you know what I'm talking about. So when it's lit like this, I will pass it on to, and you, as if you were washing your face and washing anything and everything that you may have brought in with you as you're coming down. So you smudge so that you have no problems with what is said, and hopefully we're in agreement with everything that's being done in our meetings. And I carry a feather because it was given to me by our community. And when you're given a feather as an elder, that's like a badge that you wear, because whatever it is you do your best and you do it well. So I'm very proud of my feather, and I take it with me everywhere and anywhere that I'm at a meeting. I think there was one more of our medicines, and it's cedar. Cedar grows year-round, so therefore our people used it as a tea. If you had a sore throat or you didn't feel well, you made a cup of tea with cedar. And also, we took boughs of cedars and put it over our front doors so that no harm would come to our families. So we always bring these medicines with us as wherever we go, because they're part of any ceremony that we do. So I think I've given you all that I can about the medicines, and I hope you do enjoy what we have to offer you today. Miigwech.
Students, faculty, and staff, members of our Board of Governors, esteemed guests and college partners, family and friends, good afternoon. I'm Sue Prestige. I'm a proud alumni. I am a proud professor in the Media and Entertainment Department here at the college, and I'm very proud to be your MC today for this event. So welcome to the installation ceremony of Mohawk College's 8th president, Ron McKerlie. Can you please rise right now and join Mohawk Applied Music student Elisa Dupuis in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all
Thank you, Alyssa. Please be seated. I would now like to introduce to you our platform party for today. When I call your name, can you please stand and remain standing until all members of the platform party have been introduced? I would ask the audience to hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. From the Mohawk Administrative Staff Association, Marilyn McCucci. From the Mohawk College Executive Group, Director, Office of the President, Trish Loomis. Vice President, Academic, Piero Cherubini. Vice President, Corporate Services, Bob Carrington. And Vice President, Student Services, Wayne Poirier. Past Mohawk College President, Keith McIntyre. The President of Georgian College and a past President of Mohawk College, Mary Lynn Westmoynes. From Hillfield Strathallan, Headmaster Mark Ayette. From Carleton University, representing President Roseanne O'Reilly Runta, Shannon McCrae. From the Ontario Ministry of Government and Consumer Services, Deputy Minister Wendy Tilford. Seated in our second row, Elder in Residence Elise Hartley. Director of Aboriginal Initiatives and Special Advisor Ron McClester. From Six Nations, Elected Council Bob Johnson. From our Mohawk College Board of Governors, Gary Crowell, Dominic D'Ambrosio, Heather Jardine Tuck, Glenn Steeves, Stephen Bald, and Trent Jarvis. From our Mohawk College Foundation Board of Directors, Bob Beckerson, past chair of the Mohawk Alumni Council and member of the Mohawk College Foundation Board of Directors, Sandra Ireland. From the Mohawk College Association of Continuing Education Students, President Amanda Talon. From the Mohawk Students Association, President Maxwell Brown. In our first row, from OPSU Local 240, President Jeff Anderson-Bourne. From OPSU Local 241, President Kathy Maxwell. From Six Nations Polytechnique, President and Chief Executive Director Rebecca Jameson. The Chair of the Committee of Presidents of Colleges Ontario and the President of Seneca College, David Agnew. From Mohawk's Board of Governors, Student Representative Mo Mahmood. The Gentleman of the Hour, Mohawk President Ron McKerlie. From Mohawk College's Board of Governors, Chair Doug Harrison. From the Mohawk College Foundation, Chair Sharon Lax. From the Ontario Government, Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, the Honourable Ted McMeekin. From the City of Hamilton, His Worship, Mayor Bob Brattina. From McMaster University, Provost and Vice President Academic, Dr. David Wilkinson. And from Redeemer University College, President Dr. Hubert Kreigsman. Thank you all. Right now, I would like to welcome Mo Mahmood, the student representative serving on Mohawk's Board of Governors.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are gathered here in celebration of our president and Mohawk College. May the president, family and friends, the Board of Governors, students, faculty and staff, collectively and individually, continue to seek the strength to put forward in our minds all great and good thoughts intended to unite us. All generous thoughts intended to make us celebrate the achievement of others. All charitable thoughts intended to make us sensitive to the needs and feelings of others. May we together invoke all caring, brave, and meaningful acts which are worthy of our true selves. May we think in truth and love. May we act in honesty and in honor. May we seek out the best in everyone, and in doing so, may we find fulfillment, peace, and joy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mo. I would now like to invite Doug Harrison, Chair of Mohawk's Board of Governors, to the podium.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Board of Governors of Mohawk College, I extend a personal and warm welcome to Ron McKerlie's family and friends, and to the many college partners, students, faculty, and staff who have joined us this afternoon. Welcome and thank you. Your presence enriches what is truly a historic moment for Mohawk and reinforces the importance of community to both Ron and to our college. In a few moments, Ron will be officially installed as the 8th president of Mohawk College. As president, Ron will serve as the public face of Mohawk and be entrusted with significant responsibilities both within the college as well as the communities that we serve. Ron McKerlie, please come forward at this time to take the oath of office for Mohawk College. Ron McKerlie, you are now formally to assume the function and office of the President of Mohawk College, to which you have been duly appointed. In the name of the Board of Governors of Mohawk College, I charge you to keep and preserve, well and faithfully, the statutes, rights, and liberties of the college, and to promote its well-being and that of its students and staff so far as it lies in you.
I, Ron McKerlie, promise to keep and preserve, well and faithfully, the statutes, rights, and liberties of Mohawk College, and with the help of others, to foster and develop Mohawk College in the highest tradition of educational excellence, so that it satisfies the needs of the broad communities which it serves.
By resolution of the Board of Governors, I do hereby install you, Ron McKerlie, as President of Mohawk College with all the rights, privileges, and authorities of that office. Even as you are invested in the robes of office, may you be invested with the strength and the power to discharge the duties of that office and lead Mohawk College to the greatness that it deserves. Congratulations.
Enjoy that applause. To assist with the ceremonial robing of President McKerlie, I would like to call on Maxwell Brown, President of the Mohawk Students Association, Amanda Talon, President of the Mohawk College Association of Continuing Education Students, and Sandra Ireland, past chair of the Mohawk Alumni Council and member of the Mohawk College Foundation Board of Directors. It's now with great pleasure that I call upon Mohawk's government, academic, and college partners to bring official greetings. On behalf of the Province of Ontario, the Honourable Ted McMeekin, Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, and a graduate of Mohawk College.
Thanks very much, Madam Chair, Mr. Chairman, stage party, Friends of Mohawk College. It's great to be here to witness the installation of my good friend Ron McKerlie. I know Mohawk College well. I grew up about 10 blocks away from this building, and before it was built, it was an apple orchard. I used to ride over on my bike and swipe apples and go door to door with them. I watched this building being built. A great addition, Mayor Bob, to our city. I had the good fortune to be a student in the first graduating class of Mohawk College. That kind of dates me, I guess. I know this place. I love this place. This place we call Mohawk College has been blessed with some incredible leadership over the years. And I want to just say to all of you that the selection of Ron McKerlie to be the new president of Mohawk College is a marriage absolutely made in heaven. It is a great day for the college, a great day for the city, and most importantly, because I know he'll be so student-centered, a great day for the students who will study here and graduate here and continue to make a great place for themselves in our community and elsewhere. Ron and I have had the pleasure of working together. When I was Minister of Government and Consumer Services, Ron was my Deputy Minister, and a great Deputy Minister, a bit of a closet academic. I was kidding him earlier. Anytime we'd have a discussion, and they were frequent, we'd talk about books and stuff, and if I showed any interest at all in a book Ron was reading, 3 days later it'd be on my desk to read. Thank you, Ron, for that. And may you serve as I know you will, with distinction. I know when you take an oath, you really mean it. And I'm pleased to be part of this on behalf of the province. I brought along a friend to help me with this. Well, didn't really bring along. I sort of brought along a video of a friend to help with this, and I'd like to introduce that now. Please. Here it comes.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Wynn. It's my real pleasure to congratulate Ron McKerlie on his appointment as president of Mohawk College. Ron, during your career in public service, you served as an exemplary leader. Most recently, you helped us propel our open government initiative forward so that we can engage in more dialogues with Ontarians and become even more accountable and transparent. Your dedication, energy, and expertise earned you the respect and admiration of your colleagues. That's why I know that you're bound for great success at Mohawk College. As you take the next step in what's been already a very impressive career, I'm confident that you'll continue to make a difference in the lives of Ontarians. Please accept my best wishes for ongoing success as you embark on the next phase of your career. Congrats.
Ron, I'm proud of you. Welcome to the Mohawk family.
Thank you, Minister McMeekin, and please extend our thanks to the Premier as well. To bring greetings on behalf of the City of Hamilton, I would like to call to the podium His Worship, Mayor Bob Bertina.
Thank you, Sue. President Ron, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. I can't claim a Mohawk graduation certificate, but I did pick up the hitchhiking Sue Prestige one day and brought her up to the school. And my chief of staff is a Mohawk grad. When I started in radio, I had a 45-year radio career. But it started in 1965, so you weren't offering anything, and I just went out there and had a brilliant career. But all through, as I worked in different stations, we came across some terrific people out of the Mohawk radio broadcasting course, and it's still excellent. In my final remarks to City Council at the last meeting of this term, I gave an overview of all that we've achieved in the past 4 years. We have, in fact, changed history with a list of accomplishments that are truly unprecedented. A new GO station downtown, the McMaster Faculty of Family Medicine and clinics across from City Hall, the new Tim Hortons Stadium, 3 new hotels, high-end condominium projects throughout the downtown. One condominium project in Dundas just sold the penthouse for $1.1 million. That's what's happening in this city. We have the lowest unemployment rate for big cities in Ontario, growth in our median household income that is higher than the national average, and at $80,000 median family income in Hamilton, higher than cities like Toronto and London and Winnipeg. Our Ontario Works caseload has decreased by the hundreds, with almost every social indicator pointing to a more equitable, prosperous community. I told Council that we cannot, as elected officials and staff, take all the credit, that significant contributions to Hamilton's success required leadership from many directions. Premiers McGuinty and Wynne, Ministers McMeekin and Agilanitis, Member of Parliament David Sweet, and Senator David Braley. And add to that list, as I spoke to Council last week, add to that list the leaders in post-secondary education, Patrick Dean, Hubert Craigsman, and last but not least, Mohawk's outgoing president, Rob McIsaac, all of whom elevated the reputation of our city by the growth and enhancement of their institutions. Our priority as elected officials has to do with the growth of new business and the retention of old ones. A recent study by the Conference Board of Canada found that the skills gap costs the Ontario economy up to $24 billion annually, and on a national level impacts on our global competitiveness. Companies looking to relocate or expand current operations identify the amount and quality of post-secondary institutions as key to providing their employment needs and the attractiveness of the community to the children of those employees. So President McKerlie, as the mayor of a great and growing Canadian city, I thank you for choosing Hamilton, bringing your skills, your talent, your experience to our Mohawk College, understanding that everything we do has to be about quality and the ability to compete with the best in Canada, in North America, indeed, the world. President McKerlie, my sincere congratulations on your appointment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Bertina. He had promised never to tell that story again about the hitchhiking, but that's okay. I'd now like to call upon Mohawk's educational partners. Representing McMaster University, Dr. David Wilkinson, Vice President, Academic and Provost.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here on behalf of McMaster University and to congratulate Ron McKerlie on his appointment as the president of Mohawk College. It won't be a news to many people in this room when I say that McMaster and Mohawk have one of the strongest, in fact, I would say the strongest college-university partnership in the province. And this is actually not a surprise to the people in this room, certainly not a surprise to the folks at Mohawk or at McMaster, and it's not news to the provincial government either, as Minister McMeekin is often likes to point out, that the relationship which we have is something that that is a model for other college-university partnerships across the province. Our two institutions have shared goals in the way in which we all strive to better our community, both here locally and abroad, and in preparing the next generation of students to prosper and excel. And we share a common passion for growth and the well-being of our own community here in Hamilton. There is a spirit of friendship, collegiality, and collaboration that has long existed between McMaster and Mohawk, and we look forward to developing, renewing, and expanding the innovative program that we both combined to put together to better serve our community. There are more than 3,000 students who are currently enrolled in joint programs and affiliated certificates. And let me just mention just a few of the larger ones. Over 1,000 students in the Bachelor of Technology program. That's a unique partnership between the Faculty of Engineering at McMaster and Mohawk School of Engineering Technology that's designed to make our graduates industry ready through innovative combination of theoretical and practical learning. Almost 700 students in the innovative Mohawk nursing program based at the Institute for Applied Health Sciences, a building of shared support at Mohawk, shared at McMaster, shared between the university and Mohawk College. Almost 500 students in the Medical Radiation Sciences program, which is a 4-year integrated college-university program that involves hands-on study in a number of disciplines, from radiography to radiation therapy. 1,200 students in McMaster's Faculty of Social Sciences can now choose to take affiliated certificates in streams such as applied behavioral sciences or leadership and management in the not-for-profit sector using courses at Mohawk College. And that list goes on. So this relationship really is one that is unique, and it's all pervasive between our two institutions. Just last week, my president, McMaster's Patrick Dean, was reappointed to a second 5-year term as president. So both Patrick and I have already met with Ron and had productive meetings to discuss how we can strengthen and build on the relationship between our two campuses. Based on these discussions and the ongoing discussions between our colleagues, I have no doubt that the long-term success and prosperity of Mohawk College and the role of the Mohawk partnership in that is in wonderful hands with the appointment of President Ron McKerlie. Ron, congratulations and welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Wilkinson. I would now like to call to the podium Dr. Hubert R. Kriegsman, President of Redeemer University College.
Thank you, Sue. Mr. Chairman, friends, honored guests, and colleagues, it's a great pleasure to be here today with you, and especially with you, President McKerlie, now. On behalf of Redeemer's staff and faculty and entire support community, we want to welcome you to the community of post-secondary education here in Hamilton, and particularly coming out of the public sector now into the realm of post-secondary education for you, Ron. It's a challenging time in post-secondary education in many ways, but you've already heard from Dr. Wilkinson that there's many fruitful relationships that are developing in this field. We know from your past experience that you have lots of experience in bringing coherence and success to difficult situations. Not that our situation here is particularly difficult. I have no doubt that your experience and your personal qualities and the very capable team here at Mohawk will help you and ensure that you are very successful in your role. I can tell you also that you will be strongly supported by our Hamilton community that's eager to see its post-secondary institutions flourish and contribute to our community. And this support is enjoyed and reinforced by the friendly and collaborative relationship between McMaster, Mohawk, and Redeemer, as each plays an important role and a distinct role in equipping our students to find their callings and to contribute to our community. So we look forward to many more years of friendly rivalry between the Mountaineers and the Royals in the OCAA sports, but also to the collaboration of our students in such activities as the Student Roundtable with our own MPP and Minister, Ted McMeekin, which has been a very productive activity, and in the volunteer service that our community, that our students participate in together in service to our community. and in the common programs that we share or the efforts that we undertake together, such as the career fair that we're holding in Hamilton. But in addition to all that, I want to tell you a little story. At Redeemer's commencement last spring, we had as our guest speaker Mr. David Toyson, who is the executive director and president of World Vision. And we know that Ron is the chair of the board of World Vision. There are a lot of points of integration. I could go a step further and say that our current chair is an employee at World Vision. We have a lot of interconnections, and we love your dedication, Ron, also to World Vision. We know that that will stand you in good stead here, and we share your passion for compassion and service to those who are most in need in our society. So thank you for that, and we feel a real bond with you, and we wish every blessing and grace to you and to your family as you take up this role here at Mohawk, and as you lead Mohawk's efforts to equip students for serving in today's and in tomorrow's world. Blessings to you.
Thank you, Dr. Kreitzman. To bring greetings from Six Nations Polytechnic, I would like to call on President and Chief Executive Officer Rebecca Jameson.
President McKerlie, I bring the warmest extension of best wishes to you, your family. Greetings from the Six Nations Polytechnic Learning Community. We look forward to working with you. Our community and our institution has a long history in this territory, and we have customs that have endured and helped to sustain us for centuries. Those customs deal with partnership, relationships of peace, friendship, trust, and just balance and reciprocal benefit among parties. So we continue to look forward to that with Mohawk College because we have enjoyed that relationship for a number of years with Mohawk College. We currently have a number of programs in partnership with Mohawk College, and I must say they are probably some of the highest successful programs in the province in terms of Aboriginal student graduation and success. I also know a little bit about Mohawk College. I served on the Board of Governors for 6 years. So I've been in and around the college a bit, and I have some appreciation for the challenges that a college deals with. But most recently, as I said, with Six Nations Polytechnic and Mohawk College, we have entered into a more formal partnership, which I'm pleased to say will be formally recognized later this month at Six Nations Polytechnic. And so we look forward to the coming years where we will strengthen both of our roles in terms of service, not just to the Aboriginal community of Ontario, but for the benefit of all who share the land. So best wishes to you.
Thank you, Rebecca. To bring greetings on behalf of Colleges Ontario and the Association's 24 member colleges, I'd like to call to the podium David Agnew, Chair of the Committee of Presidents and President of Seneca College.
Well, thank you very much, Sue, and Minister, Your Worship, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of those 24 colleges, I'm just delighted 2 of our colleagues are here. You've already been introduced to Mary Lynn Westmoynes, former president of this great institution, Mohawk, now president of Georgia, and I see Dan Patterson, president of Niagara College here. 24 colleges, thousands of faculty and staff, and of course, about 500,000 students served every year. It's on behalf of all of those people that I bring you greetings and, of course, a very warm welcome. You know, it's a bit, you know what, I've got to get something off my chest. I'm having a little bit of presidential robe envy today. I've noticed some pretty fine robes, but then the mayor helped me understand. I'm from Toronto, you see, and that income gap between Hamilton and Toronto is, I guess, explains the cheap robe I've got. It's just it's a hand-me-down. You see those sleeves? I mean, they're beautiful. Without alarming your new president too much, I have to say we share some things in common. 5 years ago, I came to this sector. I came from a background of Ontario government service, of the private sector, of deep interest in international development. Like Ron, I was bereft of experience in post-secondary, and like Ron, I fooled a hiring committee. But I have to say he has joined at a, well, you know what? My installation ceremony was actually a little bit later because I really think they wanted to make sure that it was actually to go. So congratulations on having one this close to your appointment. But it is a fascinating and I think absolutely a great time to join the college sector in particular. Post-secondary is in a moment of huge change. It is not for the faint of heart, but as you know from Ron's extraordinary CV, he is absolutely well suited for the times we're in, where we have a shared mission, and we share it with our university partners as well, that we're focusing on students of all ages, preparing them for lifelong learning, for careers, for professions, and it's never been more important than in this time. So on behalf of all of your colleagues, please know that we stand here ready to support you in all that your important work. We know this great institution well. We've known your predecessors well. They've all served with great distinction. So I just want to say to you very personally, Ron, based on my personal experience, welcome to Mohawk, welcome to the Ontario college system, and welcome to the best job you're ever going to have.
Thank you, David. I wouldn't worry too much. That's a lovely robe, too. I mean, I take it. To bring greetings on behalf of Mohawk College's community, I would like to first call on the president of OPSU Local 241, representing college support staff, President Kathy Maxwell.
Thank you, Sue. That's a bit of a hard act to follow. I haven't known Ron very long, but I do have a story about him. The first day I met him, we chatted. He talked a little bit about himself, and he mentioned that he had worked with Smokey Thomas, the president of OPSU. So naturally, my curiosity got the better of me. As soon as I got back to the office, I phoned Smokey, and I said, "Give me the lowdown, what's he like?" And he hesitated for a second, and then he said, "Well, he's not pro-union, but he's not anti-union. He is a reasonable man. And thank goodness, because I can work with reasonable." With warm wishes from the support staff, we welcome you to Mohawk College.
Thank you, Kathy. Also, on behalf of Mohawk College's community, I would like to call on the president of OPSU Local 240, representing college faculty, Jeff Anderson-Bourne.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, platform guests, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Thank you all for the opportunity to speak today. On behalf of the teachers, counselors, and librarians of OPSU Local 240, I'd like to welcome you, Mr. McKerlie, to Mohawk College as our new president. We know we have a challenging 3 years ahead of us. Well, more than three. I think in terms of collective agreements, but I know it's longer than that. But we will work with you as part of the Mohawk team on behalf of our students. I've said this before, and I know I've said it to you already, Ron, that although we sometimes sit on opposite sides of the table, we sit at the same table with a common purpose, to do what's best for the students who are the reason we are all here. I look forward to engaging in a positive, constructive dialogue with you in the coming months and years. All the best to you, and we'll see you in the halls where all the serious discussions take place. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. I'd like to tell just a short story. I was asked to do the interview with President McKerlie at the President's Breakfast that we have just before the semester starts. And I hadn't had the opportunity to meet Ron before, so I was asked him by J. Rob and said, let's talk about the questions you're going to ask him tomorrow and whatnot. So I went into the office and, Jay said, well, tell the president something about yourself. So I was telling him a little bit about my background. And I thought, how interested could he be in this? I mean, he's taking over this huge job, et cetera. And he looked at me and he says, who's the most interesting person that you've ever interviewed? And I went, nobody has ever asked me that question. No one. And I just thought it was just such an indication of reaching out and listening and being interested in what someone else has to say. And from everything that I hear in the halls, that's exactly what our president has been doing even before the installation. So that's always a great sign. Thank you very much for that. To introduce President Ron McKerlie, I'd like to call to the podium the chair of the Mohawk College Foundation, Sharon Lax.
In November of last year, the search began for Mohawk's next president. The Board of Governors was looking for a candidate who would not only sustain Mohawk's momentum, but take the college to the next level. A candidate with a proven track record for building and leading high-performing teams. A candidate with passion for education and a belief in the power of college to transform lives. A candidate with the affinity for technology, business acumen, and deep understanding of how government works. A candidate who would not only lead the college, but serve as president of the Mohawk College Foundation, charged with the responsibility of growing our endowment for scholarships and bursaries and continuing our campus renewal projects. The board found that candidate in Ron McKerlie, and Ron was their unanimous choice. Ron has brought 35 years of leadership experience to Mohawk, 25 years in the private sector, and 10 years with the Government of Ontario. On the first day on the job, Ron had visited every campus. During his first week, he met with student and union leaders. He began meeting with college partners and donors, and it's been a 14-hour days ever since. Despite the long hours, his commitment to students and college has not wavered. Please join me in welcoming back to the podium Mohawk's 8th president, Ron McKerlie.
Thank you. Now, we have to be very careful here because I put Kleenexes in my jacket, but then I gave up my jacket. Thank you, Sharon, very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to extend a very warm welcome to our students, to our faculty, to our staff, to Mohawk's Board of Governors, to our distinguished platform guests. Thank you so much for being here today. To our college partners and supporters, and to our current and former colleagues, I have many here today, thank you. To dear friends and family, I am truly blessed to be here in such good company. Your presence has made this event even more meaningful and more memorable, so thank you. Now, there are some people, sadly, that are not with us today, yet at this moment they are very much in my thoughts, because without them, you'd likely be installing someone else as president. And one of those individuals is far and away the smartest and wisest person that I've ever known. He never had the chance to go to college, yet he never stopped learning. He was always open to new things. He was a lifelong entrepreneur, and he launched and ran small businesses in and around our hometown of London, Ontario. And I have no doubt that he would have felt very much at home here at Mohawk. He would have absolutely no trouble striking up conversations with our students and our faculty and our staff. And I also think he'd probably say to me, "So son, what's with the robe?" He was and is to this day an inspiration to me and the source of personal strength. A role model whose faith and core values I proudly adopted. He was a devoted husband. He was a very patient parent to a flock of 7 kids. And to be told that I remind people of my late father, Ross McKerlie, is the greatest compliment that I can be paid. So, I made it through that. That's good. And I will say that's the single most difficult thing I've done so far since I've come to this college. We all know, though, that standing beside and often in front of every good man is a great woman, and our family was no exception. I'm pleased and so very grateful to have my mother, Elma McKerlie, with us today. Also my mother-in-law, Pauline Park. I'd also like to take a moment to acknowledge my wife, Lynn, who is a very remarkable woman. I can't look at you, dear. Who supports and encourages and puts up with me. If anyone's deserving of a ceremony and a celebration, it's certainly her. So, sweetheart, thanks for everything you do to support me every single day of our life together. And I love the journey that we're on. Also, my thoughts this afternoon are 8 other very remarkable and courageous women that taught me an invaluable lesson about education. I had the privilege of meeting these women about 9 years ago, and all of the women were community activists living in a very remote part of Zambia in South Central Africa. All of these women were proud mothers of young children, and all of these women were infected with HIV. Some of them were dying of AIDS. They were hosting a delegation from World Vision Canada, and to meet them, our delegation boarded a bush plane in Zambia's capital of Lusaka. And 4 hours later, we were buzzing a dirt field in the remote countryside trying to get the cattle to move so that we could land. We then rode in a Jeep for nearly an hour, plowing through streams and bouncing across fields. There are no roads in this part of rural Zambia that we were heading to. And when we arrived, the women welcomed us to their small village. They were very gracious hosts. And to escape the tropical heat, we sat on the grass beneath the shade of a tree. And through an interpreter, we talked about their work and their partnership with World Vision Canada. Now, as always happens wherever I am when parents gather, the conversation very quickly turns to our children. The mothers all shared the same 3 hopes for their sons and their daughters. When they die, the mothers wanted to know that their children would be cared for, they would be nurtured, and they would be loved. They wanted their children to stay healthy and have a full and productive life, to die peacefully of old age rather than from disease. And they wanted their children to get an education. In Zambia, the unemployment rate is 50%. 85% of the population lives below the poverty line. The average income is $3 a day. Life expectancy is only 53 years of age. For these 8 mothers, education was seen as the children's best hope at beating tough odds. Education meant options and opportunities for their children. Options and opportunities that they themselves had been denied. Now, I've always recognized the value of education. It was instilled in us at a very young age. I'm a lifelong learner, and as my 2 sons will attest, there was never any doubt that they would graduate from high school and go on to post-secondary education. Yet, it was there in Zambia, 12,000 kilometers from home, and listening to these 8 remarkable women share their stories, that I began to see education from a whole new perspective. Education has the power to transform lives, to change an individual's narrative and bend the trajectory not only of one person's life, but also for the lives of future generations, for their children and their grandchildren. What's more, I've learned that what those 8 mothers in Zambia wanted for their children is absolutely universal. I've had the very good fortune to travel the world, visiting 68 countries so far on all 7 continents. Ask any parent what they want most, and for the vast majority, it's not fame or fortune for their kids or for themselves. Whether you live half the world away or you live right here at home, my experience is that parents want the same things above all else. We want our children to be safe, to be healthy, and to get a good education. Now, our students aren't children. In fact, 24 is the average age of a Mohawk student. Yet our students are still sons and daughters. The hopes and dreams of their parents still hold true. We've been entrusted with an awesome responsibility to deliver a great education that creates options and opportunities, an education that can change the narrative and bend the trajectory in a positive way for the people that we educate and serve. Many of our older students are parents themselves. They're here juggling school and work and raising kids to build a better life for their family and to lead by example. Speaking from experience, I can tell you that what they're doing requires a major commitment. Yet the reward justifies the sacrifice. And research shows that young people are far more likely to get a post-secondary education if their parents are college or university graduates. So it's a great privilege to serve as the 8th president of Mohawk College, to honor and build on the legacy of past presidents such as Keith McIntyre and Mary Lynn Westmoynes, who are both with us this afternoon, and to support our faculty and staff who are dedicated and united in giving every student a wealth of options and opportunities and the possibility of a new narrative for their lives. Mohawk creates opportunities for our students to learn on the job through co-ops, through field and clinical placements with great employers. Employers like St. Joseph's and Hamilton Health Sciences, Horizon Utilities, L3 Westcam, McKeel Marine, ArcelorMittal Dofasco, the City of Hamilton, Walters, Hydro One, and hundreds more. To all of these partners, we are profoundly grateful. Mohawk creates opportunities for our students to bring their skills and knowledge to bear on applied research projects, to explore, discover, and push the boundaries in health and technology, to create electronic and mobile health solutions, design and test parts and prototypes in our additive manufacturing center, and to help build a more efficient system for generating and distributing the power that powers our economy and our homes. Mohawk creates opportunities for our students to get involved in the community, to work with Habitat for Humanity, building homes for local families, to be a part of Take Back the Night, to raise money for Food for Kids, and donate Christmas toys to Mountain Kids Club and St. Anne's Catholic Elementary. And we offer opportunities for our students to take on leadership roles, to serve on student government and board of governors, and to support and advocate on behalf of their peers. Now, it's been said that it takes a village to raise a child. In Mohawk, it takes a community to graduate a student. More than 100,000 students have graduated from Mohawk over the past 4 decades. We celebrated that milestone during our convocation ceremonies here on this stage back in June. And we didn't graduate a city's worth of future alumni on our own. We've had a great deal of help. Mohawk is blessed with a remarkable community of college partners, supporters, and champions, employers and donors and funders who share in our belief that education transforms lives. Time and again, our partners have made significant investments in our students. They've invested in scholarships and bursaries, the ongoing renewal of our campuses. They've offered invaluable co-ops and placements, and those all very important first jobs. Jobs that allow our graduates to live and work in Hamilton, provide for their families, and build rewarding careers. Maybe the greatest contribution I can make during my time as president of the college and the foundation is to deepen and broaden our partnerships, to continue expanding that community that plays such a pivotal role in helping our students graduate to success. A community that keeps Mohawk relevant and responsive to the needs of the employers in the city and the region that we proudly serve. I want to end my remarks by returning to where I began. Back under that tree in Zambia is a well-known African proverb. It's a proverb that defines those 8 courageous women. And it's how my father lived his life. And it goes like this: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. As president of this great institution, I look forward to working together with all of you to create options and a world of opportunities for all of our students. Thank you very much.
And I would once again like to invite Doug Harrison to come to the microphone.
Thanks very much. Ron, that was an incredible conversation. I've only had an opportunity to get to know Ron over the last few months and through the search process. For people who know me, leader is a word that I use very specifically and very infrequently because I think it is overused. A leader is a very special designation. And leadership is what people give you, not what you receive by office or by title. It's vested in you by the people such as the community, the staff, the students, and the faculty of this great organization. And I've come to very much appreciate that Ron is truly a leader, and we're grateful to have him with us. Ron, I'd like to again congratulate you on the appointment as the 8th president of Mohawk College. On behalf of the Board of Governors, we look forward to working together to advance Mohawk's mission of building a prosperous community and transforming lives. You've truly joined a remarkable institution and an outstanding team of faculty and staff. Your leadership will prove invaluable in preparing students for the future and strengthening Mohawk's ties with our partners in government, education, industry, and the communities that we serve. On behalf of the board, I would also like to thank the students, faculty, and staff of Mohawk College for their patience over the last few semesters as we worked on finding that next leader. We received lots of great input, lots of great feedback. We listened with intent. As my fellow board members would agree, we worked hard, we argued, we debated, and we decided on the type of leader that we wanted for the college moving forward, and Ron is absolutely that person. It was a global search, and we were thankful to have found Ron. I'd also like to thank Bob Carrington for his time. Bob accepted the role of interim president of Mohawk College, which was a key role at a key time to allow the board to do what it needed to do and allow the college to continue to function. And he did a tremendous and outstanding job in that role. Again, we're grateful that all of you could join us today at this special ceremony, and we appreciate your ongoing support. Thank you.
So we have a new president. Yay! Ladies and gentlemen, this brings to a close the installation ceremony of President Ron McKerlie. Now the celebration continues because everyone is invited to join us for a reception on the H-Wing lawn directly behind the theater. I've been told there's a tent there, so that's good news. And I ask that you remain seated while the platform party leaves the theater. And our piper will begin with playing for that exit. Thank you. Enjoy.